The winner effect. Have you ever felt frustrated with your dating life? You're not getting enough dates, or you go on a date, you think everything went amazing, but then she loses interest in you. You just feel down and you realize maybe the rest of your life is going good, but it does have an impact on your productivity or at the very least, your happiness. Today, you will learn an unbelievably valuable concept called the winner effect, how to use it. This will boost your happiness, your testosterone. This will help you find the right girlfriend or wife, and it will unconsciously make you way more charismatic, and it'll give you a social superpower. Let's kick right on in. The winner effect is the idea that if you don't get enough wins, whatever you subjectively believe to be a win, and you're dating your relationship life or in other areas of your life, your dopamine and your testosterone decreases. You walk around, you don't feel great about yourself. The belief in your abilities to get the results you want is diminished. So, what do you need to do to get the winner effect? Because if you do get the winner effect, you get that heightened sense of belief in yourself. You feel strong, you're happy, you're charismatic, you're walking through the world like you're on cloud 9. Well, there's a couple of things you can do. You could just have a successful date. You could kiss a lady on a date. You could make love. Sometimes it's enough to trigger a winner effect to get a message on Hinge. Oh, I'm making progress. Whenever you feel like you're making progress, the winner effect is activated. That's what Tony Robbins has been saying for years, that progress equals happiness. You could do an approach, crazy idea, talk to somebody in person. And regardless of whether or not you get the number, if you decide it was a win, you'll feel great afterwards. Now, if you do an approach and you actually get her Instagram or you actually get her number, boom, you get a level of energy and confidence you didn't have before. Or you send a cold message on Instagram. She responds. The response in and of itself, not even just getting a date from it, but the response, just that, can already trigger a winner effect, make you happy. You know that. You're sitting in a business meeting or at work, at home, and you have a date scheduled that you're looking forward to. Are you not more productive? Are you not happier? Are you not more excited about life? That is the winner effect. You say, David, well, congratulations. Thanks very much. Now, how can I use this? I'll tell you exactly how to get there. Well, all of these macro and micro wins, they come from action. David, thank you for the scientific insight. Bear with me. Trust me, please. This will be insanely valuable. So, to get the result, in other words, the win, make sure if you can read this, let me use maybe a different color, red. To get the result, to get the win, what's required? Action. Because your actions lead to your results. Well, that's kind of obvious, but why am I not winning? Why am I not getting the dates that I want? Why do I feel down? The reason people don't win in their dating and their relationship life, the reason men don't find an amazing girlfriend or wife, the reason you're still single, the reason you haven't achieved anything in your life, it's not because it's rocket science. It's not rocket science to lose weight. It is not rocket science to find the right girlfriend or wife. Yes, there is and I apologize, my voice is a little bit screwed. I filmed 180 reels yesterday in 8 hours. Okay, so my voice is a little bit screwed, so I apologize. There is a strategic element to learning to communicate effectively, to getting dates. But theoretically, if you're just relentless enough, if you just take enough action, you'll get the result. So the problem is really just that you stop taking action. You haven't learned to discipline your disappointment. Because what inevitably happens, sometimes there's a disappointment. You go on a date, you thought everything went well, and then you get demotivated because she doesn't text you back. A girl that you were really excited about, or you're not getting the results you want on Hinge. You get disappointment, and then you stop taking action. So what actually leads to your level of activity? Well, you could say your mindset, or your emotions. David, I'm a man, I'm not emotional. Nonsense. Yes, we as men are more logical than women, but we're still emotional. In pop psychology, they'll tell you, just ignore your emotions and do what's right anyway. And that is true to an extent, of course. But It's only possible to ignore the negativity of your emotions if it hasn't surpassed a certain level of severity. We've all had it where we felt so depressed, so anxious, so angry, so fearful that we weren't physically able to do the right thing, to do the approach, to get out of bed, to go to the gym. It wasn't possible for you to just ignore how you feel. So what's the real answer? Learned this from Tony Robbins many years ago. You make yourself feel like it. This is 15 years of personal development right here, right now. You make yourself feel like doing it. To win consistently, you need consistent action. With consistent action, you can have anything. It's really true. If you just do enough approaches, you send enough Instagram messages, you build a really good Instagram profile, you build a really good Hinge, you will get quality dates. Then you'll work on your communication skills. If you're just relentless enough, you will get the result. But you stop taking action. Why? Because your mindset isn't on point, because the disappointment hits. Because you don't have the rituals that feed into this. So you have to understand that these results, you could have an added category here, but we're going to leave that out. That would go a little bit too far for today. We're just going to shortcut this. These results, they lead to mindset and emotion. So if you have a great date and you make love to a woman, do you have more self-belief or less? More. Do you feel more confident or less confident? More confident. Whether it actually neurologically boosts your testosterone. Well, making love does boost your testosterone. That's a fact. Whether a win really boosts your testosterone, or whether it just feels like it, who cares? You feel amazing. That's what you're ultimately here for. You need to have rituals that you can deploy when disappointment inevitably hits. Let me say this again. You need to preemptively get rituals for when the disappointment comes so you can discipline your disappointment so you can get back on track to take an action. That's all it is. The only thing you have to solve for is consistent action. That's the only thing. That's what makes it hard. To keep going when things didn't go the way you'd want them to. So, how can you change your mindset and your emotions, your state, when the date didn't go well? Well, there's many different ways. One is friends. One of the most important things. You talk to quality male friends, they'll tell you, bro, she was never right for you anyway. There's 400 million women in the world and you're getting obsessed about one. Get your shit together, bro. You get good friends who tell you that. Another one could be a therapist. Another one could be a coach. Another ritual extremely important is gym or hard exercise. Tony Robbins calls this a change in physiology. You change the way you feel massively by changing your body. Meditation. And there's various meditation. Ignore that. There's various different types. It can be mindfulness meditation. It can just be you sitting down and thinking and analyzing the situation and realizing, well, if my mother were to die today, I probably wouldn't care too much about Sarah not responding to my Hinge message. Oh, Annette didn't want to go on a second date with me. Who? So you put it in perspective. You sort things out in your own head. There's various different rituals. There's plenty more, but you have to preempt them. You have to understand that there will be moments where you'll be disappointed that will lead to you stop taking action. And then if you take less action, are you going to get better or worse results? You're going to get worse results on Hinge. You're going to have less dates. You're going to make less love. And in the end, you will have less wins. If you have less wins, you'll have less excitement. So to activate the winner effect on a regular basis for you to feel amazing, to get that added boost of charisma, because you know when you're winning, you're walking through life, you're talking to people, everything's amazing. To do that, you need rituals. You need to control your mindset and your emotions, because that's what's going to lead to actions. That's what's going to lead to the results. And they then in turn feed back into your beliefs, which then either spiral you upwards or downwards. You have to assume the responsibility for controlling how you feel on a day-to-day basis, without alcohol, without substances. A therapist can be good, a coach can be good. The single most important thing you can do as a man is to spend time with quality male friends who are winning themselves, who want to see you win. It is so important that you spend way more time with quality male friends. Let go of the bad ones and more of the good ones. Because if a date didn't go well and then you're just at home by yourself, you might feel miserable. You call a friend, after 7 minutes, you can feel amazing because he tells you, hey, listen, you have so many great things going for yourself. You're an amazing guy. You're kind, you're working. All these things are great. What does your friend do? He changes your focus. And thereby, your internal representation changes. You have a different image, a different sound, a different feeling inside of you. And your emotional reality changes. And then you get back to taking action. You get the results. So, solve for consistent action. Ask yourself, what do I have to do to be able to take consistent action? And remember, to find the right girlfriend or wife, it really only takes 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year. It shouldn't really take much longer than that. Like, if your hard case, maybe 2 years. But anybody can do it. Enjoy the journey. But if you get wins along the way, it'll be easy. You'll enjoy socializing. Maybe you'll go dancing a little bit. Maybe you'll include jiu-jitsu. You also have to have a life that gives you wins, not just the dating side. Most areas in your life should be giving you these wins, but you have to anticipate that disappointments will come. Tony Robbins says you'll have to learn to discipline your disappointment and get back to strategic action. You do that, you'll get the results.